Hello there. Um, this is just another video I'm making here. Um, on previously on the last videos or on the other things. Um, it's I'm not sure how to say this, but I mean, like all the stuff that all of the things I've mentioned in my previous videos. Um, I'm kind of, it's good in a sense, I suppose, that I expressed it all. Um, and um, it's just I'm gonna talk about things that are still affecting me, and it's nothing new because this is the same like I've been saying in previous videos or in other ones, certain ones. It's that problem with the this cannabis thing is really having a bad toll on me still, and knowing I need safe access to it medically and not being able to get it, and no one to turn to in the sense of the powers that be, the institutions, the healthcare system, all that is um is is um is not, it's not good. Not a great place to be in. It's causing a lot of stress and everything. Knowing the absolute answer for the fact and the truth. I'll use the word truth because it's actually a good word, truth, fact. But the truth is, I need safe access to it with the correct fluctuating THC and CBD levels in combination for what I'm dealing with, and you can't get it because of the prohibition, the drug prohibition, cannabis prohibition, and it is very not good to be in that state, and you know. And people would say, well, if it's like that, if it's at you at this level, then go somewhere else. You're just gonna have to take another drug. You're gonna have to take another go and take other ones for the time being. There's nothing you can do, and it's like, well, I can't, can I? Because you know the answer. You know the one that exists that does, but you can't because of the law, and you're gonna take another one because the you know because it's not the other one's just for law because of the prohibition you can't, and you know that the one in prohibition is the one that would help if it was legalized or for you as an exception. Without this, it doesn't work. Like, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. It really doesn't. That proud and Nina, that restorative justice in the community, the Nina of County Tipperary, they really did get me. They really did cause something on this one, and now I need safe access, and I'm coming out publicly saying this, and I am going to have to keep saying it like again because it's just, I know what I'm saying is repeating the same thing, but repeating what I've been saying in previous videos, but it is agony really. Um, I do need to go to platforms like I said, other platforms, my video on this, or I might actually have to go serious where I might have to go on a long run, like jog up to government buildings and that, um, do stuff like that. Maybe it's gone to that extent. Well, I am going back. I was an athlete. If we didn't, I didn't actually mention I was an athlete. I ran for the athletic club in Nina, and I was a middle distance runner, and I ran in national um, distance races before. So with that being said, I could, I'm going back training as well. I'm planning to go back training, and I can get fit enough, then I could be able to do that. But it's going to take me months, a few months or whatever, to be in shape again. But I've done it before, and that's another story with me with fitness and being off and on athletics. I was a middle distance runner. I'm going to go back and just to get fit anyway, just with a nearby club and linked with my other coach I had. Um, but these, you see, the problem I'm having as well, the fear is that when I go back to athletics and, like, if I was to compete, I'm not saying I will, but if I was next year, or if I was to be fit, or in the summer sometime, or whenever, these issues are going to be very, it's just issues I can't bring into that setting, or because it's just a very sensitive, triggering topic when it comes to cannabis, you know, and it's just that it's obviously it's illegal in the athletics industry, just literally when you're competing in that. But I would there's nothing wrong. You can't be banned for saying you need safe access to it, do you? No, you can't. I mean, if they can, I don't know what the criteria. I don't know really fully sure, but even when if other people, other athletes, or whoever else in that sees these videos in the time being, which might it's possible to happen in the future. If they'll just see it if they know me again or something, or they hear about this, or if I tell them, or I don't know, whatever way they find out, they'll see it, and it's gonna be yeah. I'm not sure what their reaction is gonna be, but in that especially in that when it comes to sport in the athletics and even outside of athletics, if I was to endeavor or maybe go into in like kind of be a observer in other sports like I used to, but it'd be mainly athletics because I would be competing if I was to. These it's just you know even if they see this in this video as well, and they'd be looking back, maybe this is something, but this thing is really causing an effect, and I know the answer to what would fix it, but prohibition is in the way. Um, and I'm still angry, very angry that they scrutinise people over a bit of that and all this cannabis. But yes, we have members of An Garda Síochána, our public servants, that are overweight, and I have to bring that up because it just irritates me. It's like, you know, uh, if I actually I got angry, I had thoughts there as well where I was pulled over by a guard, and this guard was pretty heavy, and he done the Misuse of Drugs Act and started giving out to me saying, or you broke the law and all this, and I said back, F you for saying this. You are overweight. You're in a Garda uniform. Why is there no law for you to be overweight? Like thoughts of shouting this at guards if they crossed me with this. And there was one overweight in the thought or in the image. This is the kind of stuff I'm dealing with, a lot. Um, it isn't right though. I know, like it's quite obvious. You don't need to really research or know. You don't need to be an expert to really know that policemen should be, or police women and policemen should be in shape and should be, in case they need to catch a criminal on foot. You know, that's what's irritating me as well. And all of it kind of links. Um, yeah, it is very frustrating. Um, and also as well, there recently as well, we have on the update on other platform or other movements I'm following, other campaigns. The founder of Yellow Vest in Ireland, Len Miller, has been actually imprisoned, or has been given a sentence for 6 months in prison, and been given a €500 fine for breaching the peace, for protesting or for peacefully assembling, um, against government measures that were in our view and his view. I agree with as well that they were draconian. Um, you know, on over the past um, what's happened over the past 2.5 years. Um, yeah, if you don't, with Yellow Vests, to bring back Yellow Vests are a grassroots movement that are, just to give you an insight of what they are. I did briefly mention them, but I'd say that the Yellow Vests are a grassroots movement where they want to stop they want to be able to sort out the way the tax is handled and the tax system is, and stop the burden of tax being heavily burdened on the Irish taxpayer. And we have it. It started initially in France, but Len Miller, the founder, has been up in the criminal courts of justice, and I think it was 13 charges. Around, yeah, I think it's 13 charges for um, breach of the peace, allegedly breach of the peace, and allegedly of breaching health measures with what the government have been implementing over the last 2.5 years with this COVID-19 phenomenon. But the thing about it is, I have to be very careful on what I'm saying here because I don't want to be flagged or with censorship and all that. But the man has been, he's been, I think he's in his fourth or fifth hearing, and the judge decided to give him a €500 fine and is imprisoned him for 6 months. It's on the Yellow Vest Ireland website on Facebook, or on the page on Facebook if you want to see on that update. You see himself and another campaigner, Ben Gilroy, outside of the Higgins's Áras on Uachtaráin. I think that's, yeah, the president's house, saying that this needs him to get onto this, because he didn't actually commit any crime. He didn't break any law. He did nothing wrong. He used his constitutional right to peacefully assemble. If a government oversteps its mark, if any government or in any establishment oversteps its mark, and you know on like putting too much burden and too much kind of mechanisms to to put the citizens into a state of poverty with what they do, with how they handle things. Well, it is in our right to protest and to peacefully assemble against, peacefully and lawfully, I'll add, to peacefully and lawfully protest and peacefully assemble. Um, we have the right. Not only do we have the right, but we have the obligation and duty to challenge these, if such things happen. And this goes for all governments all over the world that are democracies, just democracies, to speak. Um, and he carried that out, and it's ridiculous. He shouldn't. He didn't even commit a crime. But the video is, it's only 3 minutes long. I might even post it up. I'll put it up in the link here. But the man didn't. Like trying to stand up for people's rights and the freedoms of everyone in this country as well, and being summoned to the criminal courts of justice. And the criminal courts of justice, from what I believe and from what I've heard, is that it doesn't even have jurisdiction over these matters, and yet they're the ones bringing them up in court. So political policing is what's going on, and political policing, is obviously not good to have in our in any jurisdiction. In Ireland, it's going on very rampantly as well. Yeah, I just want to get that out as well. Like I went on about the on my update, but I just wanted to update with the yellow vests as well. That you know, he's not in prison per se at the moment. He's undergoing an appeal, and he's out on based on an appeal. Then he's going to appeal and see where it goes. But he was up. He was given. He was. I don't know. I actually have to find out more updates now again. But he had to be. He was given 24 hours notice, or less than 24 hours notice, to turn up into the court the next day, and he wasn't even given much notice about it. And the man is, a father. He has a seriously sick, his sick daughter is in hospital, and is undergoing needing serious treatment and support in the hospital, and this is all going on. So I want to have everyone try and who is watching this video, and even subscribers and everything, to try and look into and give support to this man. I'll leave the link to the video below, and even just to look generally what Yellow Vests are about. Everything is on their platform, because it's shocking what's going on. It's really shocking that this is what's coming down the line. What's coming down into the future is quite it's not good. It's quite bad. If they win this case against Glen State, and if they win this case, or even it's like they can't even win to begin with, because he didn't do anything unlawful. What they're doing is unlawful. The establishment are doing unlawful kind of attempts to silence people who stand up, who want to stand up for our fundamental basic human rights. And well, if they go ahead with the best way to say it is that if the establishment gets its way and gets its way on what it wants in this case, our right to peacefully assemble and peacefully protest against measures that are not serving the people, in the government will be will be impeded on, and will be actually be they will attempt to try and take it away. It could never be taken away. We have to understand that the constitutional right to peacefully assemble is an inalienable right, inalienable, meaning it cannot be taken away, and it wasn't given or taken because it's enshrined. Enshrined meaning it can't be taken nor given. It was enshrined from from God, and we got that from our great forefathers, the patriots, Michael Collins, Padraig Pearse, and the likes of all them who had to fight very hard, and had to do tremendous effort to get the freedoms, independence, and Irish Free State that we have today. And if they were to be, let's say, alive today, or if they were, alive in being elderly age or whatever, they would be on the side of Glenn Miller. I know they would, because it's like they would, because they're standing up for freedom and that. And yeah, I want to get this out for Glenn Miller as well, and hopefully, stay strong, Glenn, because I'm on your side as well, and everyone else as well, within that, into that movement, and other people I know, Barry as well, will it's shocking, like, that this is you know um we just can't we have to rebel, and we're going to have to rebel against this. We cannot allow our establishment to try and stampede and impede on our fundamental rights, human rights. We cannot be allowing uh, that to happen. We're going to have to revolt peacefully and lawfully, I'll add. We'll do this in peaceful and lawfully, and lawful means no breach of the peace or anything like that, in any way, you know. Um, but it cannot be. It's not acceptable, and it can't be tolerated. So yeah, with the yellow vest and that, and them campaigns like, people are just being sent up in court for trumped up, spurious charges that are just so ludicrous. They didn't even break any laws or nothing. It's just the establishment making up nonsense the authorities, and in collusion with the judiciary, making up nonsense in the courts and all that, just to have people up to waste their time, and to just to kind of to sucker money out of them, just to like flush any bit of money they have out of them, just to waste their time, and to say, yeah, we're not gonna. If you try and protest, if you try to have peaceful gatherings, even though we know you're allowed to, if you are allowed to, but if you do, we're going to do this to you anyway, because we have the power and we can do what we like. Well, the thing is, they cannot do what they like, because our constitution states otherwise, and the constitution is the pillar, is the that's that is the pillar you use as used to challenge them, because they can't say anything back against the Constitution. The Constitution supersedes everything. It supersedes all the laws that are passed by the House of the Oireachtas. Supersedes all the laws that are enforced by the Gardaí, enforced by and even undergoing with the judiciary. Um, the Constitution states these are rights that it's even above government. The Constitution is above everything. When in all categories, jurisdictions, and levels, layers of law, and even for fundamental human rights. So that supersedes everything. And for anyone to try and supersede, and any person in this state, even including public servants, um, civil servants, anyone that tries to impede and your rights, your right to as a sovereign citizen, as your right to do that, you have to stop and say, I cannot go ahead, because what you're doing is unconstitutional, it's illegal, and I cannot go along with what you're doing, because it's illegal, and I can't be complicit, because if I was to be, I would be facilitating more, being more intense on that activity, and it can be criminal activity, and you're facilitating more in criminal activity, and that's what you have to kind of say. Easier said than done, and you are up against quite uh, a lot of figures, not just figureheads, but generally up against people in positions of authority and power that are trying to and the establishment in linked that they're trying to take away our rights and our freedoms that was very hardly fought for. So yeah, that's my main update with me. Um, so this to sum up, like what I really went on about was my own situation with this cannabis thing is still such a problem or such a agony with the law, with that, like with safe access and all that, knowing that um the what else can I say? What was I? Yeah, the cannabis thing, the Glenn Miller being up in yellow vest, being for that unbelievable stuff. Really, they have no heart. They are heartless. What these people are to do that to him, the people in power, and that heartless people, um, and uh, yeah, and that's the whatever else I came out with. I did this kind of this video too, you know, how serious this is. It's quite serious, all this stuff I'm saying. And oh yeah, with athletics, that's it, the athletics. Going back in and seeing what. But look, if things go wrong, if things are not go in my favour with things in relation to what I've been saying, well, I just have to deal with it as best I can. You know, um, but yeah, that's me for the moment, and that's my update, and I'll leave a link into the what happened or with Glenn Miller and that, and um, that's me for the moment. And thanks for listening, and yeah, I'll update you soon.